Hi everyone, Todd Peak Appliance here. Want to thank everybody for their support and thumbs up, and also thanks to the haters as well. But today we're looking at a GE GDT, the rest of that model number, dishwasher. This one's kind of a higher end. You can see it's got the bottle washer feature in the upper rack. Some of them actually have I don't think this one has it. No, this one doesn't have it. Pretty nice features. Unfortunately, they don't run very well or consistent. So I took off the insulation here. Basically, this machine was problematic, and it is problematic, I should say. They've issued this service bulletin, which basically says why it doesn't work. User interface is not responsive. It's a pretty common problem. And as you can see, I put the note there and many more. Here's the models affected. I don't know if this one is affected or not. But what it says is a CSM, trip CSM under 2. And basically that's a heating issue. And this one, it doesn't really pertain to that, but a common problem on this is that they always say to replace the controller, or not always, but certain instances, which this one is located behind here. If you have this model, all the controllers are here. It's just a matter of, this one has the smaller, newer style rectangular one, and some of the older ones have a longer one that goes to about here. And you just drop this whole front panel. That's how you get at it. But we've seen quite a few where they recommend doing that, and it does absolutely nothing. What I found with this, also there's also a, if you have one that's running but it's not heating, there's a high limit here. Now right now I have it plugged in, so I don't want to stick my finger up in there, even though it's insulated and whatnot. But there's a little black, see that shiny black button? If you have one that's not heating and it's a GE, you may want to just try that. So you can typically remove the kick panel that goes across here and reach in under there. So that's not the issue on this. So what we found is right now it's actually running, but I've seen this quite often on this machine where, again, going back to this service bulletin, there's a couple interesting notes in here. It says, if the dishwasher becomes responsive, move on to step 7. If the dishwasher is non-responsive after step 4 and 5, replace the user interface board and machine control. Well, that's pretty expensive. This controller and the user interface is probably $300, and there's several different models, several different model numbers, and several different part numbers as well. So back up, yeah, all right, locate the dishwasher circuit breaker, turn it off for at least 5 seconds, turn it back on, and wait at least 10 seconds. See if the dishwasher is responsive. If the dishwasher is not responsive, repeat step 4 up to 10 times. 10 times. I don't know. That seems kind of goofy. We haven't really had much luck with that, at least in our area. Yeah, I don't really make too many people happy at GE talking about this, but again, this is what we see all the time. We do it all the time, all day, every day. See a lot of these units. So if you have one, and again, this is an upper end one, it's a stainless tub. Nice machine. It works pretty well when it works. This one here, I have it hooked up to my outside garden hose. And if you ever want to test a machine too, you can, the hoses that come with it usually come with this elbow, and it, plugs right into the hose. So this one's actually been sitting in my yard. So if I were to install this, you could see I would just throw this away. I'd put a brand new one on because it's leaking. It's got a drip on it. Even if it didn't, I'd just take it off, throw it away, put a new one on, be done with it. And go from there. But these are basically the same, mainly the same guts on these newer GE dishwashers. Here you have your circulation pump and your drain pump, which by the way, if you get something stuck in here it doesn't drain, you pretty much have to take the machine out, tip it on its back, and take this off. There's a bunch of It's kind of self-explanatory when it's laying on its back. If you have blockage and it's not moving, these pumps aren't very good quality, so usually if I see a seed in it or it sounds kind of funny, I just put a new one in, just replace it right away. It's so laborious to take it out. But anyway, back to the main staple of the video here. I have my meter hooked up. This right here is what we see as the weak link. Okay, this has a metal cap that goes over it, so it doesn't look like this. Actually, I think I have the metal cap here somewhere. Here, yep, I did. So okay, I have that right here. So if you take your kick plate off, it looks something like this. This actually goes over the harness. Okay, the main power harness being this part. If you're a tech, I'm sure you've seen tons of these. Now, what we've been seeing, I have my DC meter, my pins in there, okay? And so we've got 124 volts. Again, this machine is working right now, but if you see these dead control, I can't really reach the top because of where we're at. And I have it tipped back on this platform just so it's a lot easier to demonstrate this. So, but you'll get 120 volts here, but it won't be going to there, into the board. So before you go replacing any parts on these, what you do is you start shaking these, okay? Because this harness here, the tolerances are off in this, and nobody really admits to it. GE won't admit to it, but this is what we've seen, because a lot of these, I'll unplug this, plug it back in, and as long as you have good wire nuts on, you don't have to worry about getting shocked. But if it's dead control, I don't know if you heard that, but it does do a beep beep beep. Plug it back in. Yeah, see, beep beep beep. And you shake this around, and these connections in here, they're no good. If you order a new one, which we've done that on previous other jobs, plug it in, same exact thing. So what I've been doing is I actually solder the connectors in there, which is it's a tough job because they're super small connectors. Or you can stick, again, this is hot, so if you stick anything in here now, you're gonna get shocked. But you can crimp these over, maybe with some pliers, and get that connection to work there. Shake it around. Yeah, see right now this one has a good connection. I actually did over crimp these with pliers, and basically what I did is on the ends I kind of just over crimped it like that, and that snugs it up a little bit. Also sticking, again, when it's unplugged, if you stick like a little ice pick in there, you can crimp these over, but the best way is to solder it up in there. It's quite a difficult solder though, and if you're not a good solderer, probably not the best for you, but crimping these over is good. That's just something, troubleshooting, you know, you don't want to walk up to one of these and start replacing parts because you'll put a new controller in. Really, one of the weak links also is this door harness. That bulletin over there that I showed you, they recommend replacing this, but again, you can replace this, the controller, the user interface. If you're not getting good continuity on this little $10-20 harness, you're not going to get anywhere. And again, it's not really worth it to replace this harness because the new ones are exactly the same as the old ones. So do yourself a favor and fiddle with this, jiggle it around. If everything works, sometimes you can just hold it at a certain position, run the machine, do your test, and that way you know what's going and what's not going. This one here actually is hooked up to my hose, and this hose is cold water. I run this thing for 20 minutes and it's piping hot in there. I'll get the water up to 100 degrees, so heating system on this one's good to go. But it's a huge problem. All machines, all GE machines, plastic tub or stainless tub, doesn't matter. So go ahead and start with that harness right there, and hopefully that saves some people from frustrations and spending money on parts you don't really need. So until next time, give us a thumbs up, and hope help some of you out there. Have a good one.